familiar with my channel, then you may recognize a meme at play. I made videos analyzing the depths of philosophy in different anime to the point that some people I think that I'm just BSing all of it. I'm just coming up with random stuff to vaguely fit the scenes and I pass it off as philosophy. So, I've taken brilliant, underhanded methods to incept in all of your minds true genius. On the one hand, if my philosophical analysis actually makes sense and holds water, you will be blown away by the sheer epicness of the video. And also, if it's way too far and does not hold water in your mind, then it was just the meme. The philosophy meme has freaking taken over everything because half my comment sections are all full with literally nobody. Nux Taku. Clearly you don't understand the philosophy behind Shao Tucker's incest furry fetish, or whatever the hell you decide. So I decided to make a bit of a series, analyzing the philosophy and depths of anime's brilliance. And I believe there's no better place to start than this. A completely serious philosophical analysis analyzing the philosophy of Mikasa's ass in Attack on Titan. This video is kindly sponsored by Azure Lane. Azure Lane is a tactical shooter mobile game, but more importantly than all of the specs, the waifus are amazing. If you've been a fan of anime long enough, you understand the brilliance behind how anime can take literally anything and make it a waifu. And Azure Lane has evolved even past that. It's a gacha game where you summon different battleships and you use these battleships to do battle in these epic battles. You have to make your ships more powerful, you have to give them better weaponry, and the fighting is amazing. Now, on top of all of that, every battleship is an anthropomorphized waifu, and it's beautiful. Where each ship has their own personality that fits into the anime tropes that we're so used to and so adore, each one with a fully voice-acted personality. The voice acting in Azure Lane is top tier, one of my favorites I've ever seen in an RPG. The fighting and strategies in itself is fun, and also you have a harem of ship waifus to do your bidding. The current event that just started, Iris of Light and Dark, also looks amazing, and I am so hyped to play more of it. The ultimate hybrid of a strategic battle game and the ultimate waifu game is here. Link is in the description. Thank you so much, Azure Lane, for sponsoring this video, and on with the video. As we know very well from fan art, off-brand websites, and YouTube thumbnails, the inspiring legacy of Mikasa's ass is the most transcending aspect of Attack on Titan. There's the interesting plot, the deep characters, the wonderful scenes, the amazing battles. But despite all that, easily the most standout, exuberant aspect of the series that everyone knows and loves and that everyone wants to see more than anything else is the rump of the main woman. But what a lot of people don't understand is that unlike most female leads in anime that are obviously also over-sexualized in fan art and hentai-doujin stuffles, whatever, there are different aspects that are enhanced than others. If they have a superpower, that superpower will somehow be sexualized, which is why My Hero Academia is literally a toxic gathering ground for anyone spanning from degenerate to very cool. That said, most other anime enhance the badonkers of a woman, or even the very popular ass are done in a very different way. One of two ways, in fact. Either it will be the ass in the nude, or the ass will have its court guard shield of honor known as pantsu. What originally tipped me off to do further research into the inspiring philosophy of Mikasa's ass is because, despite this fact, there is a conundrum at play within all the fan art of Mikasa. Yes, there are plenty in her birthday suit. However, for the most part, all of these pictures of the rump of the queen are while she is wearing full pants, where merely the shape of her voluptuous turris is being shown, and this is where the philosophical argument begins, and man, did it blow me away. First, you have to realize that her fan service only takes place outside of the anime. The glorious of Mikasa is not sexualized within Attack on Titan itself. The only scenes with slight sexual tension are her wonderful abs, which will probably not be a future video. But if you really like this one, the philosophy of Mikasa's abs are on the table. And the obvious reasoning behind this is abs are something known to be worked for. You can't just have abs without tremendous self-exertion, and everyone needs to self-exert to become who they want to be. Not necessarily someone physically strong or someone in peak fitness, but whether they want to be smarter or whether they want a certain degree. It takes self-maintenance, and it's incredibly difficult. This is obvious in regards to Mikasa when we see her abs in anime. Now, the beauty is, we don't see any other fan service of Mikasa in the anime, but we do see her assets thrown around everywhere outside of the anime. And the reason why it's her ass, not her breasts, like so many others, is simply because ass growth takes far more work. Mikasa is someone that works really hard for what she's become, and it's inspiring to us all. We should also work hard to become more of what we want to be. We have to be the change we want to see in the world, and Mikasa does that exactly. By the fact that there's plenty sexy images of her butt floating around the internet as opposed to her breasts. It's inspiring to us all to work harder at ourselves. And as I've mentioned, the majority of these are wearing pants. They're not in the nude. Because everyone in the nude has an ass. I have an ass, you have an ass, and Mikasa has an ass. So therefore, what's different between us? Well, the difference is when Mikasa wears pants and the outline is stretching the very fabric of the pants, it goes to show the rock hard labor she's put in to build herself into something new. And that's something we all also have to work on. It's physical hard work that gave her ass the prowess to alter the fabric of her pants. And it's our own personal hard work that will change the fabric of the world around us. Life is not given to you on a silver platter. Well, for some people I guess it is, but I think for the vast majority it is not. And even for the people that it is, they need to find a way to make themselves feel worthwhile, or in the end of the day, they will suffer as well. People that are spoiled as kids have a scarily high rate of people that end up depressed in their higher teenage years. And that is because they didn't accomplish anything. Mikasa is saying, grab the world by the pussy and make something of yourself. That is why all the doujin and all the images, all the fan art, and all the lewd stuff posted about Mikasa is her ass in pants, symbolizing hard work, perseverance, and making something of yourself, not just expecting the world to do it for you. The world has given each of us an ass, some better ass than others, some larger asses than others, and some with better skins on our asses than others, but an ass nonetheless. My ass personally has a bit of a crack in it. I tried to return it, but apparently that's not how it works. But Mikasa made something out of her ass. She made her ass something beautiful. But that said and done, Mikasa is still modest. She is still a humble character that will not go out of her way to make others feel bad. She doesn't see herself differently than anyone else despite the work she's put into her ass. And that is shown in her panties. As we can see in literally every single image drawn of Mikasa, her panties outline are showed sticking slightly out of the pants themselves. Due to the sheer pressure of her overpowered ass cheeks done right, she can leave an imprint of her presumably soft undergarments upon these jean-like pants used for battle. Through all of her insane training, obviously, her ass has reached a point of being overpowered, and even though it can be used for the forces of good, asses can be used for the forces of evil. One of the things pushing her towards this force of evil is that since her dummy thickness is increasing, the clap of her ass cheeks is loud enough to alert the titans of her presence before she can even approach them. But in order to get forward, you have to be optimistic. In the end of the day, her dummy thickness will give her superior mass, enabling her to titan slay easier, even though they may be alerted by the clap of her ass cheeks. Literally everything in everyone's future will have downsides. There is nothing that is purely good. So don't let the downsides stop you from grabbing your future. If you have a dream, if you have something you want to become, but there's that one negative thing that's stopping you. Maybe it's that statistics-wise, your chances aren't that great. Maybe it's because it'll take a lot of work and a lot of time. Maybe the downside is that you're afraid of failure. But in the end of the day, since everything will have a downside, sometimes you have to look past it. Just like Mikasa looked past the clap of her ass cheeks in order to attain the dummy thickness mass possible and able to destroy the Titans. She grabbed her dream by the balls, and she stayed a humble person through it. That's clearly shown by her panties. I mean, now that her ass has its own gravitational orbit, wearing panties is a living wedgie. Wherever you go, whatever you do, the tightness of the panties will be following you. That actually rhymed. That's a little scary. But she won't take off her panties. She will not fight Commando because she still sees herself herself like anyone else. She didn't lose sight of who she is just because she's accomplished such a tremendous feat. So she'll wear the panties, she'll look past the downsides, and she'll get herself the best goddamn in the game. Mikasa, as we all know, is in love with Eren. She's in love with him, and despite that, she's not purely growing an girth for attraction reasons. She's doing it to protect him. Being that her mindset is focused on something so inconsequential to her being, for the least selfish of reasons, purely to protect someone she cares about. For these reasons, she obtained the ultimate rump girth, and despite the fact that she has no personality in the actual series until a very far point, the fanbase still loves her. The fanbase loves her without fan service scenes. Because remember, in the actual anime, we don't get the booty fan service. That is all fan interpreted, and all the fans collectively, subconsciously came together for a common goal. Because this is who Mikasa is. Mikasa's character development is ass, but despite that, it's ass. Once again, ass being used as a term for the force of good and the force of evil. And as a simple example of this, we have the word smart ass, which is definitely a negative connotation, and then you have the word badass, which is an ultimate positive connotation. The divisiveness of asses is far greater than you can even realize, and this is only the tip of the iceberg. Mikasa literally used her for the forces of good. She inspires all of us to try harder, to accomplish our dreams, and to make the best out of who we are. Every path will have a right option and a wrong option, and probably many neutral options. We just gotta keep making the right choices, gotta keep moving forward, and keep being humble about it. Just because you succeed and someone else fails, it doesn't make you any better than them, and that's why Mikasa's panties are visible through her pants. Everyone is equal, so you have to make the most of yourself. You too have the ability to be dummy thick just like Mikasa. Don't let that chance pass you by. It'll take work and it'll take effort, but remember to use your ass for the forces of good. Whammon and gentle whammon, that is the super deep, inspiring philosophy of Mikasa's ass in Attack on Titan. Thank you all so much for watching this intellectual and educational video. I hope you did enjoy and learn many things new. Leave a like if you derived some form of weird pleasure from this video, I don't know how, and subscribe for future brilliant philosophical analyses. Link in the description to my Twitter. Feel free to follow me there. I also have a link to my Irwin's Bizarre Adventure merch. Feel free to pick some up. It's for limited time. The video got copyrighted, so I didn't even make back from the video what I paid the editor and artist and whatever, so that would be dope and very appreciated. And also link to my Patreon. All patrons are invited to the Discord server, and I especially wanted to thank David Denole, Burning Bush, Rise Warren, Shade of Snake, Wilson Fletcher, Team Sparky65, Nemo, Girthy Worm, Jim, Chunky Nibbles, Allison Stricker, The Wolf of Gar, JD Fincher, Elaser, Shin, The Ethan, Ravy, Landek, Kevin McLean, Jordan, Junger, White Noise 32, Talon, Bestis Daddy, Cross, Mitchell Garnett, Mira Ramirez, Chezzy, Tregreen, Hammers the Great, Nicholas Anderson, Ian Martin, praise Lord Gilgamesh, OP analysis coming soon, Serial Flex Offender, Lord Sashomaro, Kid Ori, JJ Slaybrams, Sodden Grider, Joshua Faber, Seymour Butts, The Night Bright, LJ, Kaiser Runar, Alias Undensoko, Nothing But a Fan, Divine Reigns, Hexile, Teakui, Skyler Legs, some guy named Bob, Samuel Guzman, Burning Halo, Los Polos Hermanos, Juan Centano, King Rainbow, Jeffrey Baltasar, Cameline, and Karma. Also wanted to thank the Lord Twigger Rank, Steelers, Chubbs is the Man, Nocturus 13, Zach Clapperick, Pod 6 was Jerks, Elliot Gonzalez, MD, Adria Pica, Soza Nerdified, Everest, The Ninth Master, Christopher Smith, and Typical Anime. Thanks to the God Usopp Rank, Dark Element, Eduardo Flores, Pooh Zerker, Steve, Necro, Sunny Parks, and Esposito. Thank you to the men, the myths, the legends, Steve, Datura Metel, and Gintama for life. You guys legitimately help me keep my channel alive. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. It's something you didn't even need to do, and you did do it, and you are clearly using your ass for the force of good, which will totally not remain a meme on the channel. Totally. Let me know in the comments if you want more super deep philosophical analyses that may or may not be 100% accurate and intended by the author. Have yourself a most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam.